Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I am sitting again. We meet again to have a chat and continue our discussion with this pale olive journey. In my last video, I had promised you guys that I would do a follow-up once my K-beauty order gets in, but I have devastating news. It has been delayed. It has been delayed with no expected delivery date, which is most unfortunate. So we'll just have to do a part 3 whenever that does arrive. I can do like a full kind of K-beauty or just do another version. But I do have the products that I had picked up at a few of the stores that are local here. And then I also got my order in from Salt, New York, which was like the most recommended product that you guys had mentioned in the last 2 videos where I've been talking about this. So I was scrolling through a few of the comments this morning, and again, you guys just leave the most wise and wonderful comments. I'm so grateful to you, and you also offer so many amazing product recommendations. But I just wanted to kind of touch on the whole idea of like the pale olive skin tone. And I know that I don't use the terminology properly. I definitely say skin tone and undertone, kind of like a tomato potato vibe. And I'm aware that there's like a lot of true scientific color theory that exists there, and I am certainly misusing these words, so I just want to apologize from the start. But also just taking it from like a general consumer standpoint, where I'm like very interested in this and I love doing videos, and we've done like our seasonal analysis and it's very fun to kind of dive into, but also I'm approaching it from the standpoint of like general interest and looking for products that kind of work. And something that comes up a lot when kind of deciding what your color palette is, what your season is, there's a lot of jargon, there's a lot of words that are given to you, but not necessarily a lot of actionable products. Like even every time I've done my own personal seasonal analysis, which I've done 3 now, I'm like, okay, so what do I buy? What works for me? Okay, you've told me that this is like the palette that works for me. Now what lipstick and what blush do I buy? And I never get a list of products to go take action with and go forth and pick up. And that's kind of why I've been now doing this, where I'm like, okay, this is great. I have a general understanding of what's happening here. That's super nice. And we can make these videos and kind of be on this journey together so that we can all find products that work for us, whatever our skin tone may be. But like, give me the list. And this is so true on TikTok as well, where people will be like, do you have this and this and this? Okay, buy my course to find out what products you should use. And I'm like, oh my god, shut up, blah, blah, blah. Just tell me what to buy. So my goal here is to have the general understanding, this new olive skin tone world, and then have a list of products that work for that. So you guys have also given us fabulous lists of creators who post a ton of content talking about this. So I'm gonna put a list of the creators that you guys have recommended in the description box down below so that we can kind of use that as a reference point. And then that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm going on a trip this next week. So over this next week while I'm away, I definitely am gonna do a deep dive in there. So I'm gonna put that down below. Now with the skin tone versus undertone versus overtone, all of those different words, when you look up pale olive skin tone on Google, this is what pops up. Light olive skin is a complexion with subtle green, gray, or pale yellow undertone, appearing as a muted light brown or beige shade, often mistaken for neutral, warm, or cool. It frequently tans easily and may appear ashen or sallow with incorrect makeup, requiring specific, often muted or jewel toned colors to avoid appearing tired, which I feel like is a really actually great general wrap up of everything that we've been discussing. But then I wanted to refer to Kim, who commented on that last video, and obviously is incredibly knowledgeable in the world of color theory and the specific words that appear throughout this discussion. So she says that olive is an overtone, like a pink is an overtone, it is not an undertone. Undertone is the temperature of our skin and it's on a spectrum. Cool is blue, neutral red, warm yellow. As it's a spectrum, it's not possible to accumulate both yellow and blue undertones as they are opposites. Our undertones are either blue, blue red, red, red yellow, or yellow. Blue and yellow at the same time is not possible. That's why green olive is not an undertone. Please stop the misinformation. So she says, buy foundations that claim to have an olive undertone, but know that in reality, it's probably just a true cool foundation, blue and desaturated. Different brands have their own systems for colors, therefore they're not reliable to know our undertones, and they only match our skin tone and overtone. She said, I think the foundations and concealers that match you the best are usually the ones that claim to be neutral, so they're not pink or yellow. So this is where, like, I know that we can go deep into the specifics of color theory, and it's not that I don't have an interest in that, it's just that for a general consumer, when I'm just wanting to go to Sephora and buy a foundation that matches me, that actually feels like a lot of information to process, and it's not easily discernible when you're sitting there and just swatching foundations on your hand. So that's where my interest is more in finding the products that just work for us. And that is where, when I use the words, my very repeated descriptive words, it's just easier to say something like neutral. But obviously that has led to a large misunderstanding of this skin tone. And it also makes so much sense why makeup artists in their profession use multiple, sometimes 4 or 5 foundations foundations when mixing and matching their clients in the chair. So obviously that's not reasonable for your average human every day when doing their makeup. We just want something that's going to work for us, something that we can throw on our face to feel fabulous in a hurry. And that's why we appreciate people like Lisa Eldridge, who make the products that work for most people. And she has this beautiful understanding of this world of color theory. So that is my response to that. Thank you all again for your divine knowledge. And I apologize for misusing the words. I will try my best to do better going forward. And today let's do a fun little dive into some of the products that I picked up. So the cushion foundation that I had picked up was the Tier Mask Fit Aura Cushion. This one's in the shade 17C Porcelain. And I know like the red one, the red cushion foundation was all the rage on TikTok for quite some time. I actually picked this one up because it was allegedly more of a glowy finish, which is what I love for my everyday. So this is what you get inside the compact. It has the little sponge here. And this is fun because you definitely see a lot of padding when it comes to the cushion foundations, but I prefer to blend mine out with a brush, but I think applying it with this is fine. This is the Tier cushion and this is the Lisa Eldridge. So you can see like this, the green in my skin, it just blends so well with this one, where I swatched this one and it still shows up pink. So it was pretty, but it just doesn't have the Lisa Eldridge beat, and the Lisa Eldridge one just has more of that like juicy serum finish, where this one I found to be a little bit more dry. Like any level of colder winter skin right now, like that would not fly. So I did find this one to be a little bit more dry, but overall I think the color looks really nice and it's got really nice coverage. I actually have like that, I don't know if you guys saw that, I have a little bit of a pinky red rash right now, the usual, which also makes it the perfect day to test some products and see how it covers and kind of evens that out. But as I'm patting this in, it's literally like, it looks like magic. Like it's very, very pretty. And it actually blends in so well by itself. Like I don't really have to do a lot of effort. Like I'm so lightly patting my face right now as I blend this in, and it does just soak into the skin. So you can see I've just like whited out my face. I'm just gonna take my brush and kind of buff that in a little bit. And as far as the shade match goes, like it does match very, very nicely. I didn't notice that it oxidized or turned more pink throughout the day when I wore it yesterday. Sorry, it stayed quite true to the shade. Sorry, my camera. Like I whited my face out and my camera's like, oh, stop being more pale. You're messing with my white balance. That's literally what my camera is saying. Yeah, honestly, the shade is really nice. It looks good. Very clean, very fresh looking, not too yellow, not too pink, but still just a little bit more fair than the Lisa Eldridge one, where I find the Lisa Eldridge one has a little bit more of that green that kind of does that color correcting, which is so funny because I keep saying that, and guys, sometimes my words don't match what I feel inside my brain, where I'm like, I don't understand how this green is doing this magic. And it's like, I understand that if you were buying a color corrector and you buy green, that neutralizes the red. You can tell me that, I can see that, I know that that happens, but I still don't understand why. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell me that I can call or FaceTime someone across the planet and I'm aware that that is what is happening, but I still don't understand. I don't have a deep understanding of the science behind that. This is why I failed engineering. I can have a general understanding, but I don't know. There's just a little bit of texture on the skin. It's kind of sitting on top, and sometimes that can mean that the skincare that you're using underneath is a little bit too thick and it doesn't mesh well. But that's again the conversation that I've said before, where products that I love using every day are products that kind of mix well with whatever I put on it. Like Lisa Eldridge, she don't care about what skincare I've got underneath. It just works with everything. So if something's just like picking up on my dry patches, like this one's really sitting on the dryness around my nose from all my nose blowing, which again isn't normally the state of my skin, but yeah, it's just a little bit more dry. So if you have more dry skin, I would say that this one will be a little bit more visible on the face. So I wanted to mention that I had picked up this Noose Liquid Care Cheek in the shade Fig Fog, this cream blush, and I used this one yesterday and it was so pretty. I just have to show you guys. The color is amazing and I feel like it's everything we've been looking for in this like gorgeous kind of purpley neutral blush. It's so soft, so light. The packaging is beautiful, and this particular brand, Noose, had so many blushes, like cool blushes. They literally had a section of cool blushes, and this was the one, the Fig Fog. I was like, oh my god, so beautiful. And I also grabbed the shade Dazzled Ginger and just they look so gorgeous. So I will be using that, like adding that to my everyday pile, but I wanted to dive into the Salt New York because this is what you guys recommended so much. So this is the collection that Salt New York did with Hannah Louise Poston, who is one of the creators that you guys have mentioned, makes like amazing makeup videos here on YouTube, a lot of discussion about more fair skin, a lot of discussion on the olive skin tone. And then this is the collection that she did with these more desaturated, softer tones. So she did a light, medium, and a dark palette, I believe, with this whole discussion in mind. And when I first opened it, I was like, oh, y'all are leading me astray. Like, this looks so dark. What do you mean? This isn't, look at this next to my face. But it's actually a really, really soft, sheer formula. So it's so much softer and lighter than it is in the pan. So I was like, oh, okay, we might be onto something. Very dewy formula to be used on the lips and cheeks. Now, they come in these little paper refills here and you can plop them in. You can also buy them without the palette and just have the pans if you already have a palette to put them in, which is very nice. I was very interested in this Old Gum shade. Old Gum. I think that's such a, what a brilliant name for a blush, truly. And I want to apply this with my Rephr 04 brush, which is usually the brush that I go for. And let's see how it goes. Oh my God, it's literally the perfect match for this shirt. I'm so excited. I found this shirt on Revolve and I was like, it's that dusty vibe that we're going for these days, that kind of like dusty gray vibe. Yeah, that's so soft, so light, barely there. That kind of perfect neutral, but oh my God, you guys were so right. You were so right. Why did I have any doubt in my soul? I don't know, but really you guys never really lead me astray. That's so glowy, it's so natural. The other shade is Waxwing. I feel like we could probably put a little bit of that on top just to see how they layer up. I'm just gonna put a little bit of that on my lips too, just to see what it looks like. Yeah, it's very, very, very pretty. I don't know how I feel about the brown shade. That's actually a little bit warm for me. The deepest shade in the palette is Teasel. Teasel? It's a little bit warm for my liking. So I think I would say like either of the blushes are perfect. That's so pretty. I'm actually really excited about this. I kind of wish I had bought them individually and not in the palette actually, because I don't like this. This isn't my preferred product packaging. So I might even try to find a separate palette for the blushes because those are, yeah, really pretty. Approved, immediately approved. The highlighter is the shade Nimue. Nimue? And that is so wet and so juicy. Ooh, like so beautiful. Wow. Oh my God. I had my yoga coach this morning. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna be like glowing to the heavens. Those are the blushes. I'd say if I were to buy one, it would be Waxwing. That would be my pick. Just a little bit more pigment than the Old Gum. But if you were truly on the like fairest end of the spectrum, then that Old Gum shade would be so perfect. And it's like that barely there neutral. So pretty. I'm gonna quickly fill in my brows before we move on because they're looking a little bare. This is my Valentino Brow Trio in taupe. Let's do a little bit of the Tower 28 BW concealer. I'm just gonna put a little bit of that on the center of my face here to neutralize the redness even more because now we understand. We understand. And I also have to say that the underpainting technique is really, really effective if you are more fair, more pale. I just find myself kind of relying on that to make everything look the most natural and blended in. Whereas when I have a tan or have a fake tan applied, you can get away with a lot more with makeup. Like you just don't see as much. Whereas when your skin is more fair, you kind of like, you put something on, you're seeing it. It's so much more apparent and visible. So just really kind of leaning on these blending techniques that really help to amplify that like natural, true lived-in skin just really helps. So even adding that concealer on top of the blush just makes it look even more natural and lived in. But even still, I always go back and forth between my brushes. So I just keep my blush brush and just kind of go on top, go between. I also have to shout this out again because this is a sample that I have from Rephr. I've been seeing the questions popping in over the last few months being like, what are you using to blend in your concealer? And I'm like, I know, it's a prototype. We gotta chat with Rephr and get this going because it has been so delightful for concealer. I'm sorry I'm being such a tease. I'm also gonna give this a spritz. This is MAC Fix Plus, but the Fix Plus Freshly Cut Alcohol Free Multitasking Setting Spray. It's lovely, smells delicious too. Let's dive into this Romande eyeshadow palette. This is so pretty. This, actually, the Romande brand, this and the lip pencil that I also picked up were the two products that I had grabbed from my deep dive on the Ghoul in Japan creator's account. She has some really magical makeup, but I'm really excited about this because this actually just arrived yesterday. I had to order that separately. But this palette is the Sanded Breeze Garden. So even in the name of it, that like sandy, dusty, desaturated, like it's all just kind of in those vibes. And I actually really love the size of this. It's very small, very nice. I like that you can see the colors. And something that I've noticed recently as I've been kind of embracing the more pale side of life, even my beloved like cooler toned Makeup and Mario Master Mattes palette is so warm. Like look at this next to my face. Like this isn't even the original one. The original one is way warmer than this. This was the more cool tone one. And then when I hold it up next to this, I'm like, oh, oh my God. I mean, this is way more suitable for fair skin. So I really haven't touched this at all since I've been on the more fair side of life. And with this palette, these two right here, gorgeous for just like everyday mixing onto the eyes. So sometimes if you like put the more fair products onto your eyelid, onto the mobile eyelid, it kind of just whites it out and takes away any of the natural color that might exist in your eyes. Like I actually do have quite a lot of pigment on my eyelids. Like they look very blue and purpley most of the time. So I find that just adding a little bit of color there usually brings a little bit more life to my face. And some may disagree. That might be my personal feeling. It might not actually be fact, but I do often prefer putting a little something something there. So just mixing those two shades is like the perfect kind of gray. And I have to say, guys, I have to apologize because someone was like, oh my gosh, when you're this fair, do you still love the Armani 22M? And I'm like, I have to say, in this state, it is also a little bit warm. It is a little bit warm. And I'll still do it. I still wear it and I have worn it. But for sure, this has been an eye-opening journey with, again, the products that I thought were working for me when I am more fair and what actually looks better. Now, I really don't like the shimmer in this palette. It's quite chunky and But another one of the products that I had picked up from the K-Beauty store was this Lancome eyeshadow in 921 Allure, which just kind of has that really beautiful kind of cool undertone, really soft, gorgeous sheer shimmer. And then actually Lancome had sent over this new Idole Goddess Dimension eyeshadow in the shade 10 Celestial Spark. And look at the packaging. How cute is that? And this is like one of the most creamy, beautiful, beautiful. Like look at how much more bright that is in comparison to that other eyeshadow. So pretty. Like that is so nice. Anyway, I wanted to try it. I wanted to try it today just to put it on top to bring a little bit of that shimmer. Are you kidding me? It's so pretty. Oh my God, it's literally like taupey purple, cool tone dreams. Cool tone dreams. Like this is so nice. I also love the packaging. I think that's so creative and fun. Thanks, Lancome. So nice. I'm just gonna put that all over, all on top of that gray eyeshadow just to have some more glow. So pretty. Ah! And then I'm gonna take the lightest kind of creamy shade out of this palette and just put it right on the inner corner. My eye's actually quite red right now. Upon further assessment, I do think I need some powder, so I'm just gonna take my Charlotte Tilbury powder, even though this is gonna make me so dry and crackly. But yeah, that Tear foundation just is really sitting on top of the skin right now. I need to set it a little bit. All right, let's go on to this Romande lip pencil. It's literally called Taupey Shade. I love that so much. This is a swatch of the pencil. Absolutely gorgeous. It's very similar to the KJH brand Etch, like very similar packaging. It's a little bit more dry. The KJH one is a little bit more creamy, but you can see just like how much more cool toned and gray that is next to the KJH one, which is a lot warmer. So again, just a little bit more suitable for the fairer side of life. But it's still just not my preferred formula. Again, I still do just love like a classic pencil. But when a formula is really creamy like this, like you can pretty much just use it all over the face if you want it. It doesn't have to be used on the lips, but I still think that the classic NYX Nude Beige has a little bit more pink, a little bit more purple, whereas this one's like very true gray taupe. But another product, for example, like the Isamaya Flat White Lip Pencil, is almost like too creamy where it almost looks like you're applying white out. It's kind of like the concealer lip vibe, whereas this one's still a little bit deep so that you're still getting that definition. Oh, really pretty. That's like a huge win. Huge win. Sorry, it's gonna be a little bit of a scramble. This was a little bit harder to find. I had to ship this one to my P.O. box, but I'll try and put a few options down below because that's really pretty. Oh my God, like, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes! Just gonna set my brows. Apply some mascara. And really quickly, I'm just gonna go in with my Lisa Eldridge concealer pencil and just dab a few of these red dots just right on top. Just to really beat down that red. No red. Now just to blab on even more, to wrap up this video, I just have to say, like, it's such a different experience now finally, like after my entire life, having products that actually suit my skin tone and are really bringing out the like kind of freshness and awakeness in the skin that I have previously not had in my more fairer state has been making a world of a difference. And someone else also commented on that last video being like, it would be really amazing for you to find some confidence in your natural skin and not rely on a fake tan to allow you to feel confident. And I 100% agree. That's why I've been so excited to kind of dive into this and really find some products that work, because for the first time in my life, when I do my makeup, when I'm fair, I don't feel ugly. Like that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Fake tan for me has been basically like a layer of foundation that I've been putting on my skin. It's been the only way that I've been able to find that healthy, fresh glow in my skin. Whenever I'd put the fake tan on, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I look so awake and alive and glowy and summery. And again, this world has been closed to me. Like I was not aware of this journey and the products that have been coming out, the collaborations that have been happening, more and more products coming out with these beautiful, cool, and more neutral and desaturated undertones. Like it's just been all new for me. And so for all of my fellow fairer girlies out there who have been kind of on the same struggle, discovering this side of the beauty world has been so fun. And I'm actually so excited. And I just feel like for the first time, you guys, this last week, this is the first video. I filmed a video for Revolve without putting a fake tan on. And I know that it sounds stupid. I understand it sounds silly, but I've never done that before any event, before any trip, anytime I film for someone else. Like all the Revolve videos that I have filmed, it's with an asterisk. I put a fake tan on before and I filmed it pale, and that was such a huge moment for me. I can't express to you, like going back to the confidence vid. Okay, this is the first time in my life that I have actually felt an ounce of confidence in my paleness, and it's really been, it's life-changing. It actually is life-changing to like put a face of makeup on and like feel like it's truly enhancing the natural beauty that is the skin that you're in. And it's been really nice. So I just wanted to say thank you again to everyone who's been sending the recs our way and allowing us to play and having so much fun and finding some really beautiful products. I'm so thrilled. I look forward to doing a kind of further deep dive into the K-beauty once my order arrives. So we'll try some more products and do kind of a part 3 of this. But until then, if you have any specific colors, specific brands, or other things that you think I should pick up, perhaps if you guys have some specific cushion foundations that you love, I would love to try. Please let me know. And maybe we need to book a trip to Korea. Go and see what's across the pond by way of beauty. So my friends, I'm gonna love you and leave you today. That's the finished look. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for being here as always and for watching. And I'll see you all very, very soon for a new video. Bye!